Barbie! I told you to wait in the dream house. Boys, avenge me! Avenge me! Avengers!
Bazinga.
Scruffy-looking nerf herders.
Ethan Hunt contacted you?
I am good, Rooster. I'm very good.
So you are Yoi's a trainer who trains.
Gonzo the Great will ride this baby again.
Hello and welcome to a special edition of the Real Serious Podcast. Today we're going to be talking about the Matrix Quadrilogy. It's going to be quite the episode. We're going back to the one that began it all the way to the, what, legacy sequel you'd call it? I'd call it a legacy sequel.
Yeah.
But before we get to that, let's see how the boys are doing. We'll talk some Marty Supreme and some Shrek. So what's up, boys? How we feeling?
Good. Jack, it's been a while for you, right? Was it 2 weeks that you missed?
I missed 1 week, but I think the last week I was on, you weren't here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I think it's been 3 weeks without all of us together.
What was I doing?
You were probably doing something.
I don't know what I was
You had work.
On a Sunday?
Because we were on the it was
yes.
Because we did this super fun. Hey, let's see where Charlie is right now. And
we that's my favorite game when you're not on the podcast.
Yeah.
It's always the same answer. We know where he is.
In the office.
It's just like, when will he leave?
Yeah.
That's
every once in a while you leave by the time the podcast ends and we give an update and it's like, wow, it's 8 p.m. and he's left. Round of applause. He's free. But yeah. Well, welcome back, boys. It's good to have all of us together here for a pod. Let's do a quicker what we've been watching this week, since we probably have mainly Matrix to talk about, but we got a couple things. I'll go first. I feel like I haven't gone first in a minute. I watched the final, before he comes back, James Bond with Sean Connery, You Only Live Twice. I did not like this one. This is the first one he's felt old to me, and it just goes away, and I'm not the biggest fan of older James Bond. I think this one kind of is the definition of we've jumped the shark. It's the most Austin Powers feeling as well. And it really wasn't for me. I like the Japanese setting and I liked all that, but it's a little too much of the campy James Bond. Then I watched all of the Matrixes, which we'll get to in a little bit. And then last night I caught Nobody 2. I went out to a theater and saw Nobody 2. And let me tell you, this was about a 2-star movie until the last 25 minutes. And the final scene, the third act is quite good. So that really saves it. Brings it up a whole star. But Nobody 2 is shockingly forgettable and very average. But I'm not saying it's a bad thing. This is the all-time, hey, your weird uncle's over and it's like his favorite movie ends up being a weird one. It's probably going to be Nobody 2. Your weird uncle is going to tell you he loves Nobody 2 this year. He was like, Sinners wasn't for me, but Nobody 2 was my kind of cup of tea. So, yeah, big uncle energy from Nobody 2. But yeah, good stuff.
Jack?
I have quite the list, just because I haven't been on it. And
oh dear.
Speed run it.
Right. So I started off with the superior Mamma Mia, the first one.
Oh, the second one. Interesting.
And then I watched Swingers. Jon Favreau and Vince Vaughn. I like this a lot more than I thought I would. About halfway through, I wasn't vibing with it, but I think the second half really completes this entire story. Really like that. Then I watched Fury, which Brad Pitt, great movie. A lot of really fun tank action sequences in there. Then I watched Hacksaw Ridge. Then I saw Weapons. I think the video made it into the pod last week.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just I feel like I could spend a while talking about that too.
Did you listen to the pod last week?
I did not.
So it ends with Charles and I had the conversation about weapons. Well, I talked to Charles about the weapons, and then I go, all right.
But it was interactive.
It was interactive. I made him talk to me. And then it ends with me going, all right, this is me done with the podcast. We'll just cut to Jack, and then it's over. And then I didn't listen to your video, and then you talked about things, and I was like, I have to address that. So I came back on. I was like, no, actually, we're not done. We're gonna keep going for a second. But
that's funny.
We had a lot of things in common. The third act just worked better for you than it did for me, which is fair.
Yeah, and I actually went back to see it. My younger brother wanted to go see it because he'd heard all the crazy people online. They're like, this is the best movie of the decade, which It's a bit extreme for me.
Disagree.
But I appreciate this movie. I like the originality that it brings to the theater, and I appreciate that. Then I watched Zero Dark 30. If you could tell, it's kind of on a really heavy like war movies here. My dad, just like dad movies galore. So we hit a lot of those. But Zero Dark 30. Then I actually saw Together this week with a buddy, with Dave Franco, and I really liked it. I think it's like very much like straightforward and kind of feeds everything it wants to tell you in the movie. But I really didn't have a problem with it. I really liked it, and I think it's in my top 5 for the year. Just very funny. I think the things that I was expecting to get from Weapons, I appreciated like more in this movie, if that makes sense. Like I think the humor worked better for me in this movie. And then the chemistry was just obviously really good because they're together. Okay. Then I watched Training Day, and this is one that I like wanted to watch for a while, but just like continued to just get pushed back just because for whatever reason. But my family wanted to sit down and watch this. Denzel and Ethan Hawke are like vibing to the max in this movie. Like the first hour, literally nothing happens, but it's like so cool that I could watch like 3 movies worth of it. And then, yeah, I saw Blaze of Glory, and then obviously all the Matrix movies. But Blaze of Glory just like continues to just shine. That movie, I think I watched it the first time a couple years ago. That was funny, silly, but like it still held up for me. Will Arnett, all-time king. He shows up in a movie, I'm there. But yeah. What'd you get up to, Charlie?
So my list is a little bit different than usual. I watched a lot of New Girl. Watched like 2 episodes.
Who's that girl?
After work every night to feel good. I watched about 50 seconds of The Big Short and then finished dinner and had to go to bed. I watched 8 minutes of The Phoenician Scheme and then got tired and had to take a nap. I watched the 3-minute clip of American Psycho, the business card scene, twice. Once at work with my buddy and then once with my roommates.
So did you log it twice?
Up here I did.
Yeah.
And then I watched The Matrix.
Hell yeah.
You know what? Cinephile right there. That's our cinephile guy.
It's the ultimate watching just the business card scene at work.
Oh,
yeah.
Because
feels very meta to me.
My buddy and I keep quoting it at work. And then finally it was like Friday at 4 and we were just like, should we just watch it? And then we grabbed a side room and watched the 3-minute clip.
There you go.
I've been looking for like some really awesome like movie like TV shirts, but not like so much movie that it's got like the characters up front and stuff, but just kind of like very subtle hints. And I found this shirt and it just says Dorcia, and it's like
nice
New York City restaurant / like exclusive, but it's like very
I see some
chill.
people with like the Stratton Oakmont shirts.
Yeah.
Those are.
But I like that. So who knows? Maybe you'll see me wearing it. But
eggshell with Romalian type.
nice.
I think
winning it with like you get
subtle
some
out left. Like,
God, that is good.
It's so
that
good.
is really good. I can't believe he prefers Paul Allen's card to mine. The compliment was sufficient, Lewis.
What a great movie that is. Oh man, I can't wait for that new one they're gonna make, and it's just gonna not be as good. I watched the new Alien show. Started it. It's only 2 episodes in because that's all it's come out. So far, so good. Cautiously optimistic.
Is it true that you can see Sid from the Ice Age?
You do see Sid from the Ice Age. Also, you see a lot of Peter Pan, like a lot of the Disney Peter Pan movies in that show. But also you get a lot of Alien. Like the Alien is in it quite a bit. I kind of thought he'd be like a hidden presence throughout, but like he's very much involved, which I like. So yeah, that's pretty good. Let's get into some news since we're going to talk a lot of Matrix here in a little bit. Rambo prequel with a Noah Centineo will star as Rambo in a new prequel movie, which is just Rambo in Vietnam, which is Rambo 2. Like, are we just doing Vietnam again?
Boo.
Yeah, no thanks. I'm a big Rambo
casting
guy.
is great. Super hyped for the casting.
Oh, God. This feels like a bit
Comments
we
are
would do.
respectful.
Like, it just feels like a bit we would be doing of like, this is just not good.
The new Rambo. It's like the next Superman is Jonah Hill.
It's just
And the crowd goes silent.
just disappointed. But yeah, so that is happening. Unfortunately, Rambo prequel is on its way. All right, some football talk. Should I do? I'm up next. Xavier Worthy, Marvin Harrison Jr., Garrett Wilson, DK Metcalf, Zay Flowers. I need another. Wide receiver.
Who's on your team right now?
I got St. Brown, Amari Hampton, and Ashton Genty.
When do you have your next pick?
Not for like 10 more picks. This is really great podcasting, by the way.
I kind of like. Oh, shoot.
12 seconds.
Who are the running backs left?
Alvin Kamara, James Conner, and Trayvon Henderson.
Oh, shit.
George Kittle's there too. I'm just gonna take Kittle. Done. Did it.
I don't like that pick at all.
I don't care.
I believe Marvin Harrison's
going
to have a great season. I believe he's going to have a breakout year.
Fantasy football
I hate that pick.
is not good.
Just to give some context to all this, Hunter, while the podcast is running, his fantasy
we're doing this on a Sunday night. All right, it's football season. We're back in it. Like, I'm not good at fantasy. I'm in 2 leagues that are, one is not cheap, but to me, it's not cheap. It's like $100. And then I'm in one for free for work. So like the free for work one, I'm just probably gonna auto draft that. And then
you guys are drafting way too early.
That's what I said. It should be like literally 2 days before. It's too early. There's injuries. People aren't even signed yet. Like, this is ridiculous. We're doing this right now. But that's
my draft is in 2 weeks.
Yes, it should be then.
A lot of my drafts are in 2 weeks, but the one that I had one tonight, and listeners, let's just say I was a chef.
You can't play with that stuff. I mean, draft Andrew Luck. Andrew Luck retires. I mean, who knows, man? You never know what happens here.
I might have to be safe. Andrew Luck right now. All right, let's go back into the news, back into the movie podcast that we're doing. Quentin Tarantino he pulled the plug on his. So, okay, for those who don't know, Quentin Tarantino wants to do 10 films. His next film will be his last film ever. He's put all this pressure on himself because of that. And he was supposed to do a movie called The Movie Critic. He then canceled that movie because he didn't feel confident in it. And now his new final movie is happening maybe in December. I think he boxed himself into a corner here. I truly do. I think the biggest issue is probably his best movie was his most recent movie, and he doesn't think he can top it. And that's kind of, I think, where we're at with Quentin Tarantino.
You think that was his best one?
I would say yes.
Really?
I don't know if I like it the most, but I think arguably it's his best. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I think, is about as close to a perfect film as I've seen.
Give me Inglourious Bastards.
I like Inglourious better, but I still do think that
as an art form, you think that Once Upon a Time
I think Once Upon a Time is
greater than.
Yes, I think it is more impressive.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think he's kind of screwed himself here too. Just because his filmography is already like just insane. Like every movie, I haven't even seen all of his movies, but like everyone I've seen up until this point, like he hasn't made a bad movie. And I think by putting so much pressure on himself to be like, this has to be like, I have to go out with a bang or like continue to follow my success with like even the cast. It's like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I feel like it comes up on my social media page like every week. They're like, did you know that Sydney Sweeney, Austin Butler, blah, 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 we're all in a movie together? I'm like, yes, like, I've known this since the movie came out. Yeah. I'm like, it's cool. But like, I don't know. There's a really neat movie I had to watch for my Italian film class. 8.5, Federico Fellini struggles with like the director's feelings and thoughts throughout the process of trying to make a film that is better than his last after it's a massive hit. I think it's a really good movie. Makes no sense. I had to watch it like 2 times just to even like have a taste of what was going on. An ultimate like makes no sense movie, but there's some really great people that like dissect it into, you know, it's really just this director who's down to his next film and he's got so much pressure on him. So if anyone is interested in that, just throwing out the recommendation.
I mean, does he have to make this film?
Also, why does it have to be 10? Like 10 is such an arbitrary number. Like, or he could have just done another one, and if he liked it enough, just be like, all right, I'm done now at 10. Or I go to 12 or 13.
I think he wanted to be dramatic. He wanted people to be, oh my God, it's the last one.
He wants to He wants the retirement tour. He wants the Kobe treatment.
But I feel like he'll just do what like old bands do, and he'll do I'm done, and then 10 years later he'll come back and it's like, actually this is my last ride, and then like 10 years after that he'll do another one where it's like
when he needs a paycheck.
Yeah, now I'm doing my last ride. That's all he's gonna do. He'll just keep doing it.
He just needs the Ridley Scott mentality. Let's just release as much as possible.
Yeah, we're churn and burn here. We're just gonna keep going. But yeah, so that's a Tarantino news. Next up is Shrek. Shrek has unfortunately been delayed. It was supposed to come out December next year, and now it is going to be June 30th, 2027. So it's swapping a release dates with Minions 3. I'm fine. I'm fine with that. I'd rather wait for them to be confident in Shrek 5. I want Shrek 5 to be very good.
Stop with the Minions.
No, the Facebook moms need it.
Stop.
All right,
I had to erase Shrek off my most anticipated for 2026. So I'm gonna have to hold that off for another year.
All right, I'm gonna go. Let me check the Minions subreddit and see how they're doing with this news. All right, the most recent post right now is I need volunteers. I need volunteers to move any fan-made Minion names into the Despicable Me wiki. So if anyone needs to help out the Minions subreddit to help out the fan names, that's what they're dealing with right now. So they weren't offended by the earlier release, in case you were curious. So yeah, Shrek is delayed. That's how we got there. Well, Shrek's delayed.
It's not a problem with the actual movie itself.
I don't
they're
think
just
so.
simply just moving. There's no delays. Like
it was supposed to come out summer 2026, and then they moved it to December, and then now it's 2027 summer. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I just saw a bunch of people online saying, "Oh, the animation was bad. They need to fix it." And I'm like, I don't think
that's true. The animation was weird.
It was just different. But like,
I think you'll just get used to it. I think we'll get used to it.
I think I have to see it more in motion. Yeah, I'm with you.
It's like the Superman, like,
yeah,
with the wide lens, like the fish lens.
Yeah, you're just flying through. I still think the best one is when The Rock did that for Black Adam. It's just
classic.
Speaking of Superman, that's the next and final piece of news. James Gunn. It is. What?
Never mind. I thought it was something different about Superman.
The news is that James Gunn said he has the treatment ready for the next film in the Superman saga, and he's hoping to start production as soon as possible, most likely before the year is up. So that's pretty exciting. I think that they're actually kind of doing hopefully a 2-year turnaround for these Superman movies. I would hope maybe 2027 is when the next one drops. I mean, if they start filming mid to early next year, we can get Superman 2027 would be pretty great, I think.
Rachel Brosnahan and David Corn Sweat have more time to. Have you seen all those news? That's where I thought
people are up in arms about that.
Yeah, people are upset.
Why are they all upset? What do they do?
Because
what's the big deal?
I guess people are speculating that the two of them had an affair. And sorry, pressure.
Whoa,
for that. People are speculating that they had an affair.
Are we so like deprived from romance in comic book movies that the one time we get any comic book romance, they were just like, are they in love?
Well, I guess at one point James Gunn yelled cut, and then they kept kissing.
And or she gave him a couple extra pets. Have you seen the video?
No, I'm not. You guys are, for the first time ever, you guys are more chronically online than I am.
So
some new for the breaking news for the podcast.
So the video goes, it's the scene where they're standing up against the cabinets.
Oh, and she just hit him again.
And it goes cut, and she goes 1, 2, 3, like just like instant, just like short, just boom, 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 and yeah, and people are just up in arms about it, and I'm like, people have too much time on their hands. Too much time on their hands, man.
I think people need to go outside a little more.
I think people need
to
take a breath of fresh air, touch some grass.
People need to get more invested in their fantasy leagues. I think is the biggest issue. We've all actually this is what happens when football is not on TV. We get to this kind of conversation.
Speaking of Hunter, how are we doing?
We're good. We're good. I got Cortland Sutton, and I'm up next. I think I'm going to go with a wide receiver flex position or running back flex position, and then try to get a QB here in the next little 1-2 punch.
Remind me who your running backs are.
Ashton Genty and Amari Hampton right now.
You should get another running back.
Risk on Genty, but I like it.
I did take a risk. This league, I've always been hurt when I played safe. So this year, my whole thing was like, risk it. I'm just risking it. The whole process.
I really don't like him.
Well, I don't think they have a quarterback for his team, so I think they're going to run the ball a whole lot. But that's
Gino.
I like Gino, but like,
I agree.
Gino. All right, back to the news. So the last big thing is one specific trailer, and that is for Marty Supreme. This is the newest Timothée Chalamet joint. Him playing ping pong in the 50s, also starring Gwyneth Paltrow and Shark Take's own Kevin O'Leary in a Leo pointing me moment as I watch that in my car. This looks incredible, to say the least. This might be my most anticipated the rest of the year. This is also tying into the whole which Safdie brother actually has the sauce conversation. Obviously, after they directed Uncut Gems and Good Times together, they've kind of gone their separate ways when it comes to directing. And this will be the first thing that Josh Safdie directs after that. But we've seen a lot more things from Benny Safdie, especially in the acting category. Benny Safdie has been very involved in different things we've seen him in. So I'm very interested to see how this kind of works out. But yeah,
I thought it looked quite good. I don't love Gwyneth Paltrow in this.
I don't love her in anything, but
you said it, not me.
Listen. I don't feel bad about that. I don't love her in anything, but something about this. I feel like she'll be used well.
Okay.
This cast just looks awesome.
It looks like
this feels like the Oscar one. The buzz is there.
Well, it's funny because you guys texted. I went to the Cincinnati Open earlier this week, and I was at the event. You guys texted in the group chat like, "Oh my gosh, like that trailer rocked," And then I had another buddy text me, and he was like, "Dude, this is literally all I want for Christmas. This trailer is insane."
Yeah.
So then I'm like, all right, well, I can't just like watch it. Like I gotta find a time to like watch it when I'm like it's like quiet and stuff. And this trailer is just like the music is great. Like it's a movie about ping pong. I mean, obviously it's probably gonna be about a lot more than just ping pong. But I think it just takes a lot for the director to make a movie about something I feel like that could be as simple as like playing ping pong into something that looks this good.
It looks so good, which I'm very impressed by.
And I want Timmy to get like
Timmy needs the praise.
This gave me like chills because like we all know like Timmy had next, but like now like it's his time.
Yeah.
Like he is here, he has arrived, and I want him to get an Oscar, but again, we want that rock Oscar, right? Like we all want that, right?
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Like Timmy.
The idea that those two going against each other is going to be just.
I love it,
and also the Safdie brothers both against each other because that's Josh's movie this year. So like it's like a perfect Oscar storm of a story. I'm very excited for it. For the little behind the scenes of the podcast, Charles really never answers a text during the day because he's a very important person at work. So when out of nowhere Chuck also agreed at like 11 a.m. that this trailer looked awesome, I knew we had a heater. I was like, all right, we're good.
We got do it at 11 a.m.
When did you text to this? It was
I'm
during
pulling
the
up
day.
receipts. I'm pulling up receipts.
It was during the day.
It was at 7 a.m. my time.
Oh, so you were like already 2 hours into the office. See, that's what I'm saying. You were already locked in. But yeah, Marty Supreme looks incredible to say the least. I do think that somehow doing the double feature of also Timothée Chalamet Christmas time. I mean, just like clockwork.
Yeah.
Very, very good.
Next year we're gonna get it again with
What's
Dune?
next year? Oh, is he Christmas again for Dune?
Yeah. Dune is Christmas.
No, it's not.
It's not?
Is it?
I could have sworn it was Christmas.
I'm looking. I got it. Hang on. I'm pulling it up. If it is, it's just. All right. It is December 18th. Oh my God.
Dune 3 is in December.
He's Santa Claus.
I'm so pumped.
Santa Claus. This is incredible. But yeah, so that's shout out our boy Timothy.
And then I don't know if we're talking this trailer or not, but I saw it in the notes and I was like,
what was that?
I wanted to look at it. Eleanor the Great.
Oh, Eleanor the Great. Yes. Please do.
I liked it.
I
don't know if I was the only one that watched it.
No, I did see it. I did. I just forgot to pull it up.
I thought this looked quite bad.
Scarlett Johansson's directing debut.
She directed. Didn't she direct Fly Me to the Moon?
I don't believe so.
I thought
Pretty
she
sure this
did.
is her directorial debut.
I think she was
certain.
in that. Let me see.
Let's see. Yeah, this is her directorial debut.
What? What did she do for Fly Me to the Moon?
She's the lead actress in it.
Well, I know that, but I thought she also directed it.
She probably was like I don't know, probably a producer on it. Yeah, no, she has nothing. She has no directing or writing credit on it at all.
I thought this looked quite good, though. I don't know. I always got a soft spot for something that seems a little, I don't know, emotional.
I'm thinking of Zoe Kravitz with whatever that movie was.
The Channing Tatum movie. I didn't watch it. They went to the resort.
I watched it. I forget what it was. Oh, Blink. Was it Blink? Click?
No.
No, Click's the Adam Sandler one.
Give me a sec.
Who knows ball the most? Who knows ball the most? Zoe.
Blink twice. Blink twice. You didn't blink. You only said blink once.
Yeah,
I know.
Oh my goodness!
Damn it!
You look absolutely terrifying with that blue light.
I turned the blue light off. It was a little scary. I'm actually very excited to see Caught Stealing, which is in a couple weeks. We're gonna talk about that in about 2 weeks. That just looks better every time I see it.
When I was watching the trailers for this week, I think like the hype train for this year, I think it's coming through.
I agree, which is so funny because 2 weeks ago, Charles was saying that he felt like this was a bad year for movies. And I feel like we're just starting to kick into like the good
I think there's a lot of good stuff that's on its way. Like I made a list of stuff that I'm like 100% like I'm going to see this.
Yes.
And I'm going to list it off. It's like I think 20 movies. But I just want to like let it sit in that like we're getting all of this over the course of the next 4 months. Yeah. Right. Even like so we have Honey Don't, Caught Stealing, Him, One Battle After Another, The Smash Machine, Tron Ares, Roofman, Black Phone 2, Blue Moon, which is the Ethan Hawke and Margaret Qualley.
Yes, that does look good. Richard Linklater.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Springsteen, Deliver Me from Nowhere with Jeremy Allen White as the lead. The Running Man, Nice Me Now You Don't 3. Rental Family with Brendan Fraser. I think I missed that trailer last week, but
that looks really good.
I'm all in. That looked good. Wicked for Good. Yep. Hunter's favorite movie, most anticipated for this year, Zootopia 2. And then Ella McKay, Avatar Fire and Ash, and Marty Supreme. I'm like, dude.
And you also missed one that's in 2 weeks that I'm actually very excited for, which is The Roses. I think The Roses is going to be really good. I'm very excited for The Roses. Something about that seems like so my speed. Big Bold Beautiful Journey too. Did you say that one? Him.
And then there's what is it? Threesome.
Yeah, that looked good too.
Yeah, there's like a couple on there that I missed, but I was like, I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to see them or not yet, so I didn't put them in the list. But like all of those, I'm sad for. So.
Yeah, I'm ready.
We got a great year.
I was telling Charles,
been good, but like I think it's going to get a whole lot better.
I said, I think it was last week on the pod. I was like, of my top 10 right now, I think only 4 of those are locks to probably be there the rest of the year.
Yeah, and I'm not as high on a lot of those trailers that are coming out for the rest of the year. Like the ones you're going through, Jack. I agree, some of them look really good, but I think a lot of them look pretty. Like Caught Stealing does not. That trailer just kind of annoys me every time.
Oh, see, I'm very excited for that. I think that'll be very.
I think most people are. For whatever reason, I'm not.
So I'm hoping this is one of those moments where one of us is out and then they watch it and they're like,
yeah, this is our Wicked for this year. Is like Jack and I are really in, and then Charles is like, I've been changed by Caught Stealing. I get it now.
Yes.
Yes.
Forgive me.
I do. I understand the weird Matt Smith haircut he has. Are we ready for some Matrix talk? Should we transition?
Let's go.
Oh man,
Mr. Anderson.
I was gonna get the Morpheus glasses.
Okay, those are the coolest glasses I've ever seen in my entire life. Those glasses just sit. They just sit. They're so sweet. All right, let's talk the Matrix. So this is Jack, since you and I watched all 4 and Charles watched the first one, I was thinking we break it down like this. I think we should talk. I think we break it up into 3 parts. I think we do the Matrix, Reloaded and Revolutions as one, and then Resurrections, and kind of treat it like a trilogy. Because Reloaded and Revolutions is one large movie, just broken into 2 parts. And I think that'd be the best way to kind of tackle this. Since it's going to be a lot, I think we're going to talk for quite a little while about this and all the themes and the movie itself. But before we get into the other ones, let's start with The Matrix. So, when a beautiful stranger leads computer hacker Neo to a foreboding underworld, he discovers the shocking truth. The life he knows is the elaborate deception of an evil cyber intelligence. Directed by the Wachowski sisters, written by the Wachowski sisters, starring Keanu Reeves, Lawrence Fishburne, Carrie-Anne Moss, and Hugo Weaving. This is... I think we should talk about maybe the impact of The Matrix for a second before we jump into it.
On
This
like
changed
society?
This changed everything. This changed movies for the next 15 years, if not 20 years. The Matrix, from an action standpoint, the slow motion, the use of CGI, like truly did change action until maybe the Bourne franchise. Like, if that even really changed it, but I think maybe I really think it even after that, it still had such an impact. I mean, bullet time itself is just like so impactful to what Western cinema like became. So the Matrix from a cultural standpoint is beyond important. But from a movie standpoint, what did we think?
I think it's one of the greatest movies of all time.
I would agree.
Like, I think this movie, just the entire time, I just get chills. And
No, I agree. Well, okay. I think I would need to. You guys have seen it multiple times. This was my first time seeing it. To make the statement that this is like one of the greatest films of all time, I feel it would be kind of like premature. You know, like it hasn't sat with me for long enough, and I haven't seen it.
He's taken the blue pill.
I haven't seen it multiple. It's just kind of hard for me to make that claim. I will say though, it may be my favorite sci-fi movie because I feel like sci-fi, it's really hard to actually like, get into it because it's usually like really far out, obviously, and as a result, it's kind of hard to buy into it. But for whatever reason, this one was like very easy to buy into and very easy to just kind of be like, yeah, like makes sense. Let's do it.
I mean, oh, sorry, continue.
No, please.
I was saying, like, I think the pacing for this one as compared to the rest of the movies in this quadrilogy is just, it's perfectly paced. I think every second of this movie, you are just like treated. This movie is made with the full intent of letting everyone watch and just be amazed for a full 2 hours. I think every character in this movie is very well written. I think that they all have this like charisma that so many movies try to replicate and just get like even an ounce of. Even Morpheus, Lawrence Fishburne is just like, I think he's one of the coolest characters of all time. I think his just the slow way that he's able to like enunciate his words and really take his time to say what he wants to in these movies. I think the way that like that character was just made just makes him like infinitely cool. He has some of the coolest action sequences. I'm not going to say of all time, but just I love them. I wouldn't.
They're up there for me.
Arguably. I mean, just that from the get-go, they throw you into this world. And I think the thing that we've gotten, it's not like a detriment to this movie, but we like grew up and like everyone's like, oh, we're living in the Matrix. And you kind of know like what the Matrix is before even seeing the movie. Personally. Am I the only one?
I'm with you. I knew about the Matrix before seeing the Matrix for sure.
As to where I feel like
it, but I didn't know what it was.
Okay.
It didn't make sense until I watched it.
As to where I feel like you watch this movie, if you were to watch this movie completely, almost like blind, you're just like blown away. And I think obviously we've gotten so many movies that have been inspired by this. Like for me, like Inception, it's just like a clear.
I felt
inspired by.
I felt like James Cameron watched this and he was like, "It's time for my blue aliens. They're ready.
Yes,
the people are ready." Like, especially when you get to 2 and 3. Like 2 and 3 has some serious Avatar moments where you're
like
just
the
the
robots.
Where you're like, James Cameron definitely was just like, the people are ready. They're ready for Jake Sully.
I did feel like the entire time I was thinking Inception seems very derivative of this.
So there's even a moment where I want to say it's like, I'm not going to say that Inception does like a 1-to-1 callback, and maybe I'm getting too specific here, but there's the scene in the
I
Matrix.
think we can go full spoilers. This movie's from 1999.
Okay.
So don't be worried to say spoilers.
I don't think this is like
all
too-
4 of these. We're going all 4
Yeah.
full spoilers. These are all movies from a couple years ago, if not 26 years ago.
But like, there's the scene where they're showing Neo in almost like the practice like simulation,
Yes.
and there's the lady with the red dress, and he's walking around and he totally like bumps shoulders with somebody. Like, I'm not saying it's like a direct callback because I know it's a very like this could happen in any movie.
Matrix.
But like they're in like this like simulation, and he bumps shoulders, and I swear it's almost like a 1-to-1 shot with the scene where Leonardo DiCaprio is showing around the new architect in the dream, and she, by one of the by like his consciousness, like comes by and kind of like bumps her on the shoulder.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm getting too specific here. But like for me, I think that's just kind of like that kind of clicked for me. And I was like, wow, like, I mean, not that that's the only thing, like there's so much you could take from this and be like, wow, like, you know, living in instead of having the Matrix as this world that is like fake, essentially in Inception, you have like the dreams, and the dream state is more or less kind of the Matrix in that movie. But like, I think that scene alone very much kind of like made me recall that scene. Maybe it's a callback, maybe it's not. But like for me, I thought it was neat.
I think it's fair. I think this if it would be a lie to say that people don't borrow from the Matrix constantly today. Like I would not be shocked if that was an inspiration, or at least maybe even subconsciously inspiration in some way, shape, or form. But I think what the Matrix does so well to me is the same thing that Fellowship does, which is interesting because they came around in the same era. It's a big world with a lot of big ideas, and they do a very good job of inviting you in without making you feel overwhelmed. You don't know what's going on all the time.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of characters, a lot of names, a lot of things going on, but it does it in a way where it shows and doesn't tell. So specifically in the scene where Morpheus is like, welcome to the Matrix, and like shows him all the stuff, and they're kind of teleporting around. That to me is a great example of giving exposition in a good way. Like you're giving exposition in a way that actually like makes sense for what we're trying to do here, and like teaching us this world and all the rules of the Matrix. And they even say it in the movie, like, one does not understand the Matrix, you have to see it. Like I completely agree. And I think that that's just a really like well done bit of exposition. And I also do think it kind of led to this era of like you are the hero movies, where it was like you are the hero, like it's your story, like it's the story of you trying to do it. And Keanu was like the perfect kind of stand-in because he is kind of like an everyman, and it works, I think, really well from that aspect also. And the action is so good. It's just so good.
I thought the action was kind of comical.
Oh, man, I think it works well because I think, and Jack, you and I will talk about it more. This is the only one where you feel the weight of the action.
Yeah.
Like they actually get hurt. They actually bleed and like try. Like there's actual weight to it. And I mean, Charles, maybe you disagree, but like when they hit stuff and like they go back and fly into a wall and they hit it and the wall breaks and the wall like shatters. To me, that's more impactful. I don't know. Do you feel like the opposite?
No, I'm not. When I said comical, I don't mean to say it's not, impactful. I think it was very impactful. I just think some of the fight scenes are so like unbelievable. Like they're exaggerated. They're supposed to be exaggerated.
Oh, big time.
Yeah,
big time.
And I think some of them are so exaggerated that I laughed a couple times.
Sure.
That's not to say it's not impactful. If anything, it like added to it for me.
Fair enough.
Sure. Like I think it's just like again like the bullets flying into the wall, to the column that's holding up the building, and there's just little pieces just breaking off, and it's like
it looks so good.
Again, like the Inception piece where they're in the France market and they like explode and it like all like kind of like slows down. Like that's again, like you said, like the bullet time, like everything kind of like breaks apart on the walls and it looks slow. But it's like happening in real time.
Yeah.
I think there's just so much I could just nitpick here, and I'm like, wow, like it's just so cool to see that. I think there's no other way to say it, but like it has to be like Matrix inspired scene.
Oh, I mean, I think there's a ton of like Matrix inspired stuff too. I mean, even Bullet Time is like,
yeah,
people do it all the time of just like this, their own version of it, which is funny because it comes up in Resurrections a lot.
Yeah.
But all right, what I want to get into is the story of the Matrix, because it changes a bit in Reload and Revolutions. So do you guys like the mythology of the Matrix? Does it make sense to you?
Yeah.
See, I agree. I think it gets convoluted a little bit in Reload and Revolutions, which we'll talk about when we talk about like the Keymaster and all the Keymaker and all that stuff, and the Mayor of Engine. But I think this one is concise enough, and I think all the stuff with the Oracle makes sense. Like
I think it makes this infinitely better too. It's just it does make it complex, but I think it does make it all that much better.
I agree. I think the Oracle is a very interesting character. And I mean, even just like the bumping into the vase thing, like if I didn't tell you that, would you have bumped? Like just like the whole thing is choice. Do we actually have the ability to make these choices? And I think that that's such an interesting through line because it's such a simple thing where you can kind of coat all this complex stuff around it, and make it complex. Well, at the end of the day, like it's just can you actually make a choice, and are you actually doing free will? And do you know Kung Fu?
Question for you guys. Sorry, Jack, go. And then I'll ask
just
the question.
Very quick. I think the second one continues that idea and that kind of like mythology of like choice. Do you have choice? What makes your choices? And how do you make them? I think it does that very well. But I think kind of in the third one, it gets lost a little bit, personally. But I just had to throw that in there while we were there. But yeah, what were you saying, Chuck?
So let's say we lived in this world. So our bodies were getting harvested for energy, and we were in the Matrix.
Would you want to escape the Matrix?
Would you guys want to escape it?
See, this is where I think it's such an interesting concept that I'm shocked they never dove into more, because I don't think really anybody would.
Right? That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I really don't think a lot. Like I mean, obviously it's actually explored in this movie, so I kind of lied right there. Like the whole subplot with Cypher is he preferred the Matrix.
Yeah.
Like the whole ignorance is bliss thing. I think a lot of people would agree with that.
Yeah. Like I know this steak I'm eating isn't real,
but my
man,
brain,
it tastes so good.
It tastes so good.
Yeah.
Like it is real to me. Like that, I think is a very interesting way to deal. And I do think a lot of people would follow the Cypher role. Like obviously in this movie, because we know Neo and we know Morpheus and stuff, like he's the kind of one of the bad guys. But like I do think people would be like that and try to get.
What do you guys think?
I don't know. I think if you lived in Zion, maybe you'd want to stay out. But like even Zion doesn't all that great.
I guess I haven't seen Zion.
Yeah, so like obviously, so in this movie, it's interesting. In this movie, they talk about Zion, like that's the place where the party is. But then we get to see Zion, and like Zion's not a place that I felt like I'd want to hang out at.
I feel like this is kind of getting into the second one, but like I think the rave scene kind of injects a little bit of life into.
Yeah, but Zion. It doesn't look like a nice place to like live.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, in terms of comfort, it's not like the Ritz.
No,
like, obviously, but like
in the Matrix, you could do that. You could live at the Ritz.
No, for sure. I think the interesting stuff with Cypher is though, like you can also take this and be like, there's always going to be somebody out there who's not to say like, oh yeah, they're your buddy and that you shouldn't have like friends or trust people, but like there's always going to be somebody out there who like is trying to get what they want, and if you're in the way,
yes,
that sucks.
Yeah, no,
and
I agree.
It's like a perfect example of like, unfortunately, there are people out there who will do whatever it takes to get what they want. And if you're in the way, like that sucks. So,
yeah. But I think overall the Matrix is, I mean, I agree with Jack. I think overall the Matrix is one of the better movies maybe ever made, arguably. I think it's one of the like most well-made movies I've seen in a very long time, if not up there. I think the biggest issue with the Matrix is that they made more of them because I feel like they boxed themselves into a corner with the way that the first one ends. Like Neo becomes Superman, like he just becomes God, and like it puts it in a hard spot looking ahead at Reloaded and Revolutions.
But I think I like what they do with Agent Smith, and I like the route that they take with him.
Yes.
Over the course of the next couple of movies. I think they don't give Agent Smith enough time over the
I don't think they give him enough stuff to do.
I think he, like, in this first one, he is perfect. Like, just iconic villain to the max. I mean, even the first, like, couple minutes, you have the scene with Trinity making the call, and then the officers show up, and
one of the
as
best
he's walking in,
ever.
He's just like, it's just one girl. How much?
Your men are already dead.
What big of a problem could it be? Your men are already dead. I mean, it's like, the fact that they even replicate that in the fourth one, and it has that much like charisma is just insane.
Look like this, man. This movie looks so good to look at. It's so nice. It's like, obviously the garish green is a bit much, but like that's obviously a stylistic choice. But like, God, the lighting is so nice in these movies, and everything looks real and practical. Like, it's so, for a movie that's set in a computer, like, it's just so tangible. It's awesome, man. It's awesome.
And even like the production design with the clothing and the costumes are like,
or like when they get hit, dust comes off them. Like, such a small, but it's so small. But like today, right? Like, I mean, I just watched the old Spider-Man again, like all the Spider-Mans, and when Tom Holland's punching people, like, it doesn't feel like he's actually hitting anybody. Like, it's just CGI punching CGI. Like, this is tangible in a way that's just so nice.
Yeah. I agree. It's like they need to just get destroyed to bits. Like, let their shirt have rips in it. Like,
agree.
And to go back to the Tom Holland, I think the first one, I think the ending, they do it pretty good. His costume does get pretty messed up. But like the second and third one, it's just kind of like,
yeah.
Bro still got his clothes on,
Yeah.
Like, not that we're like trying to take them off, just like, let the homie shirt get scratched up a little bit.
Let my boy get injured.
Yeah.
But so Charles, anything on The Matrix 1 before we get into the weirdness that is Reload and Revolutions? Because like we did for Weapons, I'm going to have you ask questions about the lore of these, because we're about to talk about some interesting characters.
No. I will kind of circling back. I don't think you guys will tell me. I think there was a good direction they could have taken. If I'm interpreting correctly, it sounds like the next three movies aren't great. And you said that the problem is they made more. I think there's a direct. Okay. Well, okay. Then no final thoughts as of now.
It's very interesting.
No final thoughts as of now. We'll see if I continue that thought later.
All right. Let's move on to Reloaded. So Reloaded and Revolutions came out in the same year in 2003. Reloaded was so disliked that
they came out in the same year.
Came out in the same year. So one was in the early part of the year, one was in the later part of the year. Reloaded was so disliked by the general audience that Revolutions did like $200 million less at the box office than Reloaded, because it was just deemed too much, too confusing. People didn't like it all that much, which, we'll talk about why here in a second. But I'd like to maybe go over what happens in this movie. So, looking at Reloaded, we go back to the Matrix. So, Neo, Trinity, and Morpheus continue to lead the revolt against the machine army, unleashing the arsenal of extraordinary skills and weaponry against the systematic forces of repression and exploitation. That's a very simple way to talk about what happened in this movie. There's a lot of new characters introduced in here, including the architect, the mayor of Engine. We learn a little bit more about the Oracle. I'm trying to remember that one guy's name, who's like the kung fu guy. What's his name?
That's with the Oracle?
Yeah, Seraph.
Yes, Seraph.
We meet Persephone, the mayor of Engine's wife. We meet the Keymaker, which he's a very interesting character.
Love that guy.
Yeah. And then obviously Agent Smith is back. So Jack, I'm going to try to recap what happened in this movie, and you tell me if I'm as accurate as I need to be. So basically, Neo's God at this point. As Neo becomes God, there's some people that worship him like a god, and that's a little interesting to him. But now the goal is basically we have to go meet the architect who is at the edge of the Matrix, and the architect will then tell Neo how to end the Matrix. And in that time, we meet the mayor of Ingen, who has 2 dreadlocked bodyguards who are actually ghosts.
So cool.
Who are ghosts.
So cool.
The mayor of Ingen actually is from a different version of the Matrix, and he survived. And in that version of the Matrix, I don't know if you know this, that version of the Matrix was actually about monsters. So those 2 guys actually are ghosts, and then the 2 people that Persephone kills are a werewolf and a vampire.
Yeah,
it's part of the lore
because they have the programs.
Yes, the program.
So Charlie, they have the programs, which you have people that are like essentially like created through the process that you see in the first movie, but then you have programs that are essentially made to live in the Matrix.
Yeah, so they're like,
to like
not
help
agents,
take
but
care
they're
of something.
Agents.
Yeah, so like they're not agents in the sense that they want to hunt down and kill, Neo
So they're
and Trinity and all them.
They're NPCs. Yeah, they're literally NPCs. And it's revealed that the Oracle is one of these NPCs.
Yes.
Like, is one of these, along with a few different people. So another person they have to find is the Keymaker. And the Keymaker basically makes these keys that can be like back doors. And so they
Monsters
can go,
Inc.
Yeah,
it's like
basically
Monsters
Inc. They can go through different doors and like appear in different parts, or like go to like basically the back rooms and like kind of escape this section of the Matrix and go like into the code outside of the world. It gets a little complicated, to say the least. And then also Smith is back, and Smith can now multiply and duplicate because he's kind of outside of the code because he has a bit of Neo in him. And he's basically the one for the machines, but then he goes the opposite direction. Instead of being like the hero they needed, he's actually like their greatest threat because he can just take over. And then there's a pretty cool fight that happens between Neo and a bunch of Smiths. There's a pretty cool fight with the mayor of Ingen and his goons. There's a pretty cool chase on a highway. And this movie has one humongous glaring issue to me. And Jack, maybe with the same issue, if you have an issue at all.
Okay.
Neo is too powerful. He doesn't break a sweat here. He's easily handling everybody. The first movie works so well because like they actually, like we just said, they struggle. Yeah. He's too powerful here. Like that's the corner I feel like they boxed themselves into. And you could have done it in a way where maybe he's still that level of power, but like he does some other interesting things. And obviously he has some interesting conversations because like his power can only go so far. But he's basically just a god. And like, I think that's a struggle for what this movie is trying to do. And I just feel like it takes me out of it consistently.
See, I think I like the moments in the Matrix where like Neo is just doing his thing, like just excessive choreography to the max.
Yeah.
I think I just love it. Even that like whole like the stairwell, or not like a stairwell, but the area in the Mayor of Ingen.
Yeah, the Mayor of Ingen.
It's like his house, whatever you want to call it. That whole fight, like he's not gonna lose, but it just looks so cool.
It does look very cool. It looks very cool.
Like none of those guys are gonna take him down. But I do think it's also like paired very well with the Trinity and Morpheus action sequence that makes it feel like there are stakes here. I feel like that specific point in the movie, I think that's what, like you have Neo fighting everyone on the stairs while Trinity and Morpheus are running to try and get the Keymaker, and then they go into the garage, and then they fight the two ghosts, which those guys, like, it's so fun and entertaining to watch them just like continue to like spawn and like I don't even know what the right word is.
Yeah, just like keep appearing.
It's like they're physical human beings, but they can like basically turn into ghosts like whenever they want. But they can't like kill you while they're the ghost.
Yeah, they just like phase in and out.
Yeah, yeah,
which is pretty sweet.
I like the conversation with the Oracle before you have the massive Smiths fight. I think there's just a lot of really interesting stuff here that I just found kind of like itched my brain and kind of kept me intrigued in this world.
Yeah.
Even when they were introducing a lot of characters.
I liked the lore stuff. The lore,
Yes.
I think, works well. I mean, you learn that this is not the first version of the Matrix, and I think the biggest reveal that Charles obviously hasn't seen yet, but like, you learn that the prophecy is a lie. The prophecy is a lie created by the machines to basically keep the Matrix resetting. So they would pump the prophecy out. There'd be a new the one, and then that the one would then end up having to meet the architect, and the architect would then give them the choice to either die with everybody else and end all of humanity, or end Zion, and then Zion would be rebuilt with like 12 new people, and they just the whole cycle would start all over again of a new Matrix, new ideas, same battery people, but like a new Zion, and then we just restart it all. Which I think is a very interesting concept, that like even in rebellion, you're still a part of just the bigger cog, and I think that's a very cool idea.
And I love it. I thought the ending here just like really kind of solidified this movie as just like I mean, full transparency, I really like this movie.
Fair.
I think it continues the first one very well. I think it's almost not like a 1-to-1, but I think, like I said, I think The Matrix is one of the best movies of all time. I think the second one, it's still good, but I think it hurts just knowing that maybe there was a movie that even could potentially have been just as good as the first one. I think that's what stings a lot of people, is because you watch the first one, you're like, man, this movie is like so good. And then you go into 2 and 3. And even though I don't think they are like, I don't think there's a hot take, but I think all the Matrix movies are good. I don't think there's a bad Matrix movie.
Agree. I think they're all good.
I just think in comparison, you just kind of get frustrated.
Yes,
because it's frustrating to see where these characters go. Yeah. I think it gets too Matrixy. Like,
yeah, they want to do all of these ideas, and it's like the reason the first one worked so well is you had all those ideas, but like the real central question was, do we have a choice? And like this one now is, do we have a choice? Are we actually part of our own destiny? Like, are we also kind of doing this other God stuff? Like, how does it feel to be a prophet? Like all this other things all wrapped in one. If your religion is a lie, like how do you kind of handle that? Like,
yeah,
I think it's got a lot of ideas here that it just gets a little too busy, and I think hurts it. But there's so much good here that it kind of brings it back up to like a water kind of finds its level kind of thing.
Yeah. I think I'm just kind of spitballing here, just as like things pop in my head, because I feel like there's just so much stuff that happens in this movie.
So many things.
But there's the conversation by the machines. It's not, I want to say Neo's having the conversation with, I think it's like
with the architect at the end.
No, the man that's in charge.
Oh, the mayor of Engine?
Zion.
Oh, yeah.
They're talking about the machines, and they're talking about, what does freedom look like? And it's like, oh, I could go destroy that machine if I wanted to. It's like, yeah, but if you destroy that machine, a lot of people are going to die, and you're going to suffer as a result of that. So, like, whose
freedom are we talking
who's really
about?
free? Yeah,
and that was brought up too in the first Matrix. Like, that was part of why the guy quit. He was like, I was supposed to be free, and I just follow orders all day, every day. Like, I haven't been free once.
I eat the goop.
Yeah, eat the goop. Like, I think that's a very interesting kind of way to look through it and kind of just deconstruct it, which I completely agree with.
I will say the one through line that I think they do really well. I can talk about that in the next one. But
I think the biggest issue too I have is the architect. So he goes into the architect, because I think that they should have copied what happened in the first Matrix when Morpheus and him are in the chairs, and you visit as they're talking. Like, he's in a room of screens, and the screens never show what the mayor of Engine's talking, or not of what the architect's talking about. Like, when the architect was like, yeah, we've had this old Matrix, and like it's the choice and all this stuff, like you could have shown us that stuff.
Sure.
Versus just, here's my 6-minute exposition dump. Like, I think that hurts as an audience, especially when this is your big central idea that Neo is about to reject. I just think that hurts this movie a little bit. And
I agree.
What we're going for.
I think there's definitely moments they could have like shown, especially on those TVs, And I thought it was neat.
It looked cool.
The fact that it kind of like showed like past the ones.
Yes.
Unless I just completely misunderstood this, but like
it just showed him.
Okay, because my conception was like it showed like the past, like the ones, and like as he was reacting to it, it played back like almost like what the other ones had said as well.
See, I didn't think that. I thought
Okay,
because I didn't
maybe
think
I'm just
there would be
tripping.
another. There would never be another Neo like in the other versions of the Matrix. Like there would just
I got you.
other guys.
Okay,
Like just
maybe I
different
missed
people.
Okay,
But the
but I
thing
was
that
thinking,
changed this version of the Matrix that they never accounted for was his love of Trinity,
yes,
which is why this version of the Matrix he can kind of escape it. And like the whole central ending of this movie, which it also starts with, is saving Trinity.
yeah,
And like he does everything in his power to save Trinity, which he ends up doing. And that's kind of how it ends and leads into Revolutions.
well, they get back to the Nebuchadnezzar and the Nebuchadnezzar.
Yes. And he reveals that I'm not the one.
And he's like, I'm not the one. And like the whole scene with Morpheus, like the person that has believed in this entire idea from like for his entire life, you know, that he is the one and that they've had this hope. And then for him to even say that, you know, I'm not the one, you know, this whole thing is just like, I'm just a statistical anomaly. Like that's all that I am. I loved that. But then at the very end, the Sentinels are chasing them down as after they've left the ship. And he's like, hold up. I think I can do something about this.
He's able to use his powers in the real world.
Yeah. And I thought that was really cool. I think for a second, before I saw the third one, I was like, is this a Matrix inside of a Matrix?
Yeah.
That's what I thought for a second. And then obviously I very quickly got into the next one. I was like, what if, you know, obviously they're in a Matrix, but they set up another Matrix to basically make it feel like they broke free, but they didn't, you know?
Agreed. But then I think it all comes crashing down in 3. So, Charles, I'm about to give you one of the largest compliments I can ever give you. The Lord of the Rings does everything the Matrix wants to do correctly, which is very interesting because it came out at the exact same time. Like, the Lord of the Rings and the Matrix are two big, large properties who did the trilogy, who
both star Hugo Weaving.
Both started off extremely strong, and it's like, all right, where are we going to go from here? And Lord of the Rings sticks the landing, and the Matrix does not. And which is super interesting too, is because obviously, Jack, you and I have seen both. The battle for Zion is basically the Helm's Deep battle, but sci-fi instead of medieval, and like it just doesn't hit the same.
It feels like there's no stakes.
It feels like there's no stakes. Agreed.
Even though there are, like,
yes,
like I think the most humanity we ever feel for the city of Zion is the rave scene.
Yes,
you feel that these are actual people, and like this is what they're fighting for. This is why they're wanting to feel alive. But aside from that, we get Link's girlfriend,
which I don't. Yeah,
which
I don't really.
I think she's like the person we know the most. That's really fighting there, because even the Commander Locke, like, bro's not even fighting. He's just like, yeah, 1A.
Yeah, which you're supposed to care about him, but like I just don't.
Yeah.
And then even that Bane guy, like I don't really care about. But like I guess you're supposed to.
For me, and I know there's a lot. This isn't as loved as the other ones, and I know there's people that still love this universe, and because of that love, they do feel that like the fight at Zion is all worth it, and like showing it makes a difference, and it really makes this movie better. But like for me, and I'm sure you're going to agree too, but it's just like you're away from the characters you care about way too long.
Yes, Neo disappears for a long chunk of this movie.
Yeah, and I'd even say Morpheus at like all of his
very useless in this movie. He's in a chair for 80% of it.
You know, some things change. I don't remember, him and Jada Pinkett Smith kept saying the same thing. I didn't love Jada Pinkett Smith's character in here either.
I did not as well. I think that she.
But I'll keep her name. I'll keep her name out my mouth.
Yeah, actually, we really liked her. We really liked her. I think that she appears in the Animatrix, and like that is like the companion piece. And then also like there's a video game that also ties very deeply into this that we obviously didn't play or do anything. But like I shouldn't have to do that to enjoy a trilogy. You know what I mean? Like I think that hurts. We revisit the Mayor of Engine again because that's the thing. The train guy out of nowhere just became like a very okay.
I love it though.
Yeah. See, this is where I think it starts to lose me. Like I think you have to basically be like, what did I say a couple weeks ago? Tenet. We're talking about Tenet a couple weeks ago. And it was like, all right, that's a movie where you just got to be like, what's happening is happening. I'm here for the vibes.
Yeah.
Like, I'm here for the vibes. Like, I think that if you do that with this, you enjoy it. But I also think that that's not what the Wachowskis wanted you to do. Like, they wanted you to take their existential crisis movie very seriously. And I think when you do all these people, it doesn't help you try to do that. Like what's the guy's even name? Like the train master or something? He was just like the train guy.
Hold up.
He just showed up and he was like,
train man.
He's like, I have trains. And the whole thing with the train, he just like gets off they just go get him. And it's like, all right, we're back. Like he's back in the movie.
I have now become conductor.
And then
trains.
Even like when Agent Smith comes to the real world, like it just doesn't. I thought it was cool, but like it just is one of those concepts that I just don't super. It didn't like move the needle for me, and I think I didn't care as much as I wanted to on it.
And I think it's so easy to not talk about Agent Smith in 2 or 3.
He's forgettable in these, except for like the final battle.
In the first one, dude, they just inject life into this character that's supposed to be like a robot, but just even the Mr. Anderson of it all, like every single time, like it's perfect down to the like last minute detail. Yeah. Like, yeah, I think it's so perfect, and the idea of him coming into the real world is so good. But I think they invite him in here, and then they just like see ya, like you're gone out of here again.
Yeah.
They just don't give him enough time. I think there was really a good story here to develop with him coming into the real world, but they just didn't let it develop. Maybe he was spending too much time, hanging out with Peter Jackson, doing his thing with the Lord of the Rings. But
yeah, I think that this movie, and once again, I'm gonna praise Lord of the Rings. Like, in Helm's Deep, I know where everything was. I know where every character was. I know where the geography of that place looks like. Like, I'm sure Charles, if he really wanted to, on a sticky note, could draw out where things are happening in the Battle of Helm's Deep.
100%.
I did not know Zion, right? Like, we did not know the geography of Zion. Like, when that drills into Zion, I'm like, all right, they're there. Like, they got all the people. And there's like a whole 30 levels. It's like, what are we doing? Like, how do you not teach the audience what, like, if it's supposed to be like a, I don't know, like a Plants versus Zombies, like don't let the zombies get to the plant. Like, you gotta tell me where the check marks are to like be like, all right, now I'm worried. Like, when they first blew up those drills, I was like, oh my God, they're there. And then it was like 30 more levels. I was like, oh, they got like an hour to kill. Like, I'm not too worried about them. But my biggest issue with this movie is the treatment of Trinity. The whole thing with the second one is we have to save Trinity. That's the whole thing. He breaks the Matrix's expectations of the architect to save Trinity. And then this one just kind of kills her. And it's just kind of like, she died. Like, hey, yeah, they were like going to the city of the machines. And it's just like,
Trinity dies?
Yeah, Trinity dies. And it's like, really? Like, after the whole thing where the second one is like him doing everything to save her, like she just gets kind of impaled while they're driving. Like, we're doing that. I feel like that was a very poor decision. It
was a choice.
It was a choice. We all have a choice. Kill Trinity or don't kill Trinity. Takes both pills. Makes 2 movies.
This is gonna sound bad, but I laughed.
I did too. I was like, what? Why are we doing this?
I was sitting there and I was watching it, and my family was just in the room, and like she's like dying on screen, and I'm just like laughing. And I don't think we were like paying attention. They're like, man, Jack is just like messed up today. And I'm just like, no, like I understand he can't see. And he has like the whole like thermal, first off, he gets blinded
Yeah, he does get blinded.
Charlie, there's a point in the movie where Agent Smith uses like this electric gun or whatever, like just
Takes
some
his
wire,
eyes.
and just takes his eyes. So then they're like, "Oh my gosh, can you see?" And he's like, "Whoa, it's so bright."
Whoa.
And then he can see like, I think it's like the thermal activity basically, or some like energy around everything that's actually happening. And the moment she gets impaled, he's like right up next to her, and she's like, "I can't go on with you." And he's like, "Well, why not?" And she's like impaled. And I'm like, I understand, like maybe he can't see it, but like to me, it just like, I thought it was so funny.
Yeah, it was just a bit much. I just think it was such a poor choice after the last one was about saving Trinity.
The whole through point with all of these movies, it's like
Trinity.
the love and the connection is what
Yes.
makes these memorable. And it's like, again, the whole idea that like what makes us human is that like our emotions can overtake our, our reason. And I think that's a very powerful thing. There's the whole, obviously, the monologue that Agent Smith has at the end of this movie with the fight. So essentially, Neo kind of makes a pact with the robots,
Yes.
Charlie, and he's like, "All right, look, Agent Smith has the power to destroy you all, but I just want to destroy Agent Smith. In return, all I ask is peace."
Yeah, you leave Zion alone.
And the robots are like, "Yeah, sure, buddy.
We'll do that.
100%. We'll
we
do
got
that. We got
And a
that."
giant baby made out of like nanotech is like, you know what? You're right. I will do that.
And so then
the
he
baby's
goes
name
in,
is Deus Ex Machina. Is just very funny too.
and he goes into the Matrix again, and it's just all Agent Smith. Like, it is so frustrating that there's so many points in this movie that I like, but this final fight
battle is incredible.
is insane. Like, you could take a shot from almost any second of this and like make it a poster. I mean, I even made the final one shot, like the poster on my letterbox. I'm like, it's just so good. It looks so
Yeah,
good.
Chuck, if you're gonna watch, I would recommend on YouTube tonight, just watch the final battle from Revolutions. It is, I would say, arguably one of the best action sequences in film history. Like, it is incredible to look at and experience. Like, it is so good. It saves this movie for me in the same way the third act of Nobody 2 bumped it up a star. Same thing for Matrix Revolutions. They're shaking hands, same style movie. It's one of the most beautiful sequences I've ever seen. I think it's just stunning to look at, and it's incredible. And it does go back to that idea of choice, and like it kind of puts a bow on it in a crappy way, but like it does.
But I like how he takes over in the third movie. Oh, is Charlie watching it right now?
I think he is. Yeah, he is. He's gonna give us a live update.
Okay. But I love the scene. He takes over the Oracle, so he's like, "I know what's coming." And it comes back to there's a difference between knowing the path and walking the path.
Yeah.
And like Agent Smith's ability to just, know the path was not enough for him to succeed.
Yeah.
Being able to walk the path and knowing like that your choices that you're making are true to who you are and like what you're wanting to do. Like, I think that's just a great overall like philosophy for just like life in general. It's like, you don't know what's coming, but like you live out every single day, you make your decisions today based on what you did yesterday. Like, again, you have the whole idea in the second one where Neo's sitting down with the Oracle at the park, and he's like, she's like, "Would you like some candy?" And he's like, "Do you know if I'm going to take this or not?" And she's like, And then obviously they have the whole conversation. You came here wanting me to explain what's going to happen. Like, you already made the choice yourself.
Yeah.
And essentially just saying like, you made the choice yourself by what you've done in the past, and what you've done in the past will decide what you will do in the future. And I really like that about this movie. And I like that's how it ends. And I think that's what like saves this for me, is that Agent Smith is so just fixated on knowing the path. And then you have Neo who's like, "I'm going to do what I do." And there's like that like sense of like almost like defeat
Yeah.
You know the way this movie's headed, so like they're not going to end it on Neo taking the L. So then he just
does. Like
he does.
dies.
He does. Yeah.
But like he does, he saves the Matrix, and like he also
saves the city that no one cared about.
Yeah, that I just never ended up caring about. And then we get kind of like a goodbye from the
Oracle.
From the Oracle. And like I my other issue too is I wish that this was a scene that, to be honest, should have been Morpheus. Like, I think if Morpheus did this final like goodbye, like even after, because obviously the last one ends with Morpheus, being told his whole ideology is wrong, but then seeing in person that he was right all along. Like, it would have been very interesting, and I think a better way to end it if like I believed in Neo all the way to the end, and like even when my prophet told me that he wasn't my prophet, like I still believed and I was right. And like I saw it with my own eyes. Like I think that, and that like maybe we'll see him again one day. And obviously subtle foreshadowing to the fact we ended up seeing him again one day. But like I think that we'll talk about the kind of the parody and ironicness of that when we get to Resurrections here in a second.
Yeah.
But I think that it does end in a strong way. I just wish it ended with Morpheus or even the people of Zion, right? Like I get, a bright new day in the Matrix. We're back to what we once were, but like, wasn't the whole thing that the Matrix is bad and like Zion is where we need to be? And then we kind of end with like a pleasant note in the Matrix. Like it's a very interesting way to kind of handle that ending. I know like we like the Oracle, we like all those characters, but to me it just kind of was like it
didn't hammer it home.
Correct. I think it missed what I liked. Yes. So just very interesting.
And sorry, just to bring up the first like 30 minutes again, like the first 30 minutes, it brings you characters that you're familiar with. And it, even though it puts you in somewhere, the train, that whole train station sequence.
The train.
And by the way, his name is the Train Man, or just Train Man.
The Train Man.
Cool. Like unobtainium. Yeah. Yeah, let's do it. I kind of like him, and I like the idea that like he's in charge of this, and that you have like the French Merovingian.
Yeah, the mayor
is kind of like in charge of it.
The Merovingian is
he's a goofy character.
Like he could be so many things too, like of what he truly is. Like, is he one of the ones who rejected?
Yeah,
like that's what I kind of felt like. Maybe he is, and I saw some people I looked at a lot of theories and stuff like that. People were theorizing that he is the one, and like his two, dreadlock guys are actually his version of Agent Smith. And like that's him now. Like I just think that's a very interesting way to do it. And like he got to rebuild the world in his image, which obviously comes up in Resurrections. But yeah.
I just think the first 30 minutes of this movie kind of puts me in like a very comfy seat. And I'm like, you know what, this rocks. Let's keep it going. And then I just feel like Morpheus is kind of put in a back seat.
Yeah,
I think he is.
These last 2 movies.
He is S tier.
Yeah.
And the fact that when they don't make Morpheus as important as he should be, and Neo and Trinity aren't on camera, I'm like, all right, what's going on here? Like, what am I really here? Like, I think there should have been a moment of almost like hopelessness for Morpheus, and I think maybe I would have felt a little bit different towards that ending, but I just didn't really feel that. I don't know if you did either. I'm trying to think. There's another thing I wanted to bring up in the second Matrix that I forgot about, but the whole Monica Bellucci scene
was great, but also she was wasted in the third one.
Yeah, like the whole second
her being Persephone and like basically his dating the devil and like that. Just it's so interesting.
I really liked that.
Like, how do you even think of this stuff?
I think the part 2 where like she makes Neo like kiss her because it's so visible that he's in love with Trinity.
Yeah, you feel that love,
and she wants to even like feel just an ounce of what that's like, and I think that was like perfect. I think it was very well executed because at the heart of these movies, like it is like their connection that makes them
together.
Yeah, like them together makes these movies what they are, because you take that out, it's like, what are they fighting for? Like what?
Which is very interesting getting into Resurrections.
And I think Resurrections is like
very interesting.
Peak relationship.
So Charles, after we talked about the Mayor of Ingen, the Keymaker, the Train Man, more stuff with the Oracle, different kind of philosophical questions of, is your God truly your God? Does that make you think to yourself, I think I'm gonna watch these next 2 movies in the Matrix?
No.
Nah, man.
You were the average consumer in 2003 because they also rejected the Matrix and did not like it. Like I said, the Matrix 3 was a big step down at the box office for Matrix 2, which are both big steps down for Matrix 1. It was just it's a lot, which I think especially is interesting too at a time where literally, I guess we've said repeatedly, it was the exact same time as The Lord of the Rings, which are big, large-scale stories full of a lot of characters, a lot of lore, but The Lord of the Rings does it in a way that I don't want to say spoon feeds it to you, but like it's a lot easier to understand and comprehend in comparison to what The Matrix is. The Matrix does not hold your hand at any point. The Lord of the Rings kind of does.
But I think the Lord of the Rings, what I think again, what they do so well is you have obviously the Battle of Helm's Deep. You care because you care about the characters. Like
yes, and the
they
characters
do such a good job.
Here they never do.
You care about the characters and what's happening to them because they did a good job of building that up beforehand. As where I feel like they didn't give, they just didn't give Zion the time of day that they required. Like, make this a 2.5-hour movie if you really got to build out Zion like that. Like, it's gonna make it that much better. Like, I understand you want to build out the philosophy of it all and you want to really get deep in somebody's mind, but I think there's just points in the last movie and the second movie where you're kind of like, where they made this movie and they're like, yeah, I'm smarter than you and I know it. Like, that's how I kind of felt personally at times. Maybe I'm just an idiot and I couldn't comprehend anything.
So stupid.
Yeah,
I'm with you. I think too, if you're gonna sell me the convoluted, you got to make me like the characters first. And yet, throwing all those people at me, I just was like, whoa, take a step back. All right, let's talk Matrix Resurrections. So Charles, bringing you back into it, what'd you think of that final battle in 3?
Slightly overhyped, but it was good.
Mr. Anderson.
Sorry.
and if you could choose someone to play Agent Smith in like a future movie,
who'd you pick?
Just like who in your mind would be like, you know what, this guy who's acting right now would be the
into the shoe.
Oh God.
I know we're putting you on the spot, but like
who could
like I don't know, like Lin-Manuel Miranda,
maybe like one of his friends.
Yeah,
Don't tell me
Anthony Ramos.
No, but like someone like Anthony Ramos who's similar. Who could it be?
Is it Leslie Odom?
Jared Goff.
He could do it. I stand by that.
Jared Goff. No, not Jared Goff. What's his name?
About,
J.
Yeah, he was like the King of England and something I've seen recently.
Oh, yes.
Jonathan Groff.
Oh, that's who you'd pick. That's so funny because that's also who they picked. Matrix Resurrections time, baby.
Great minds think alike.
So what, 15 years? Yeah, no, 10 years after, no, 20 years, sorry.
20 years, yeah.
20 years after the end of the last one, we're back with the Matrix Resurrections, which works in 2 ways since Trinity and Neo are back. Return to a world of 2 realities. One, everyday life. The other, what lies behind it. To find out which, if his reality is to construct, is to know himself, Mr. Anderson will have to choose to follow the White Rabbit once more. This movie, to me, is the second best Matrix. I think this is really great. And I think what works really well here is the commentary. So I want to go to that first for a little bit. So for those who haven't seen it, there's a great scene about 12 minutes in where you learn that Neo, now actually just Mr. Anderson again, is basically a programmer. He's a video game developer who actually, The Matrix isn't a series of movies. It's a video game within his world that he actually made, where he was a self-insert Neo, Morpheus is not real. It's a part of the game. All of everything that happened is a part of the game. And now the studio that owns the game company, which is actually Warner Brothers, they say that, wants a fourth game. And Neo, and stand-in for, I would assume, the Wachowskis, was just like, do we have to? We really have to go back to the well? And they're like, well, they're going to make it with you or without you. So you might as well be a part of it. And then from that point on, Neo is back in the world of the Matrix. And I think that is such a great, like, just complete, like, hey, audience, this is what's happening right now. But like a great way to handle it of like, he even says it, even if we have to have different faces, we're going to tell the same story again. And that ties into the fact that Morpheus is a new face. The Agent Smith is a new face. Like, we get some new faces here. But I really think that the commentary here is great. And I think it's a very interesting way to kind of handle a reboot, resurrection.
You're very self-aware of
yes.
what they're doing. And I think I applaud that, because I was like, fourth Matrix, I don't know if this is going to be my cup of tea. But I like that in the first, 20 minutes or so, they know what they're doing, or it appears that they're making fun of, almost to a certain extent, of like what they're doing. I really like the meetings that they were having, talking about, they're like, bullet time. Just almost kind of like making fun of maybe the people that make these movies, and just kind of like rehash the same stuff. That's kind of what I got out of the meetings. I don't know if that's what you got, Hunter.
Yeah, I did. I think that literally they do the whole, like, we're just going to do it all again. And then they do like a great, like, what does the Matrix mean to you? And it is like the bullet time. Like, it's a very good, like, if you were to poll 30 people who've seen the Matrix, it's like, that's the things they would say. Like, it's actually this existential thing. And someone else would be like, it's sick action and kung fu. Like, what is the Matrix to you? And like, that is what they're kind of deconstructing, because Neo ultimately rejects the Matrix, like, this time around. Like, he kind of would prefer to stay, except for the fact that he learns that Trinity is alive. And that's the big driving force, once again, of the love between Neo and Trinity.
You mean Tiffany? Tiffany's alive.
Tiffany's alive, which is just such an interesting way to do it. Oh, my favorite scene, real fast, is when Neo is relearning again that the Matrix is a thing, and Neil Patrick Harris through the mirror is like, you're having an episode, so step through this mirror and I'll bring you back to we're good. It just come through the mirror real fast, and it's just so perfect of a way that they're trying to handle it. But he's a character we have to talk about.
Yeah, also, Charlie, if you had to choose a villain for the fourth Matrix, that's not Jonathan Groff.
Neil Patrick Harris.
Oh,
what?
You need to be a casting director. You're on a roll here. Yeah, Neil Patrick Harris is the analyst who is this version, who is the new architect. Basically, he's the new architect. He kind of talks about how he doesn't agree with what the old architect did, and like, this new version of the Matrix actually like builds in the connection between Neo and Trinity, and like uses it to its advantage. And that's a very interesting concept that I think works really well. The Jonathan Groff being Smith is good. I don't think it's great. I think it works though, to like enough of an extent of like, if we're going to do this again, at least it's a little different.
See, if they just had like Jonathan Groff and no Neil Patrick Harris, they had Neil Patrick Harris and no Jonathan Groff, I think I'd feel differently about this. But I think together, I think it works. I think I like them together, but I think if they had chosen, Neil Patrick Harris is the big bad, and they brought someone in that could, basically equal Hugo Weaving or even try to match that, I think it would have felt off for me. But I think the fact that they're like, we know what we're doing, like, these are the actors that we chose.
Yeah.
Ones we're moving forward with. Again, I think this is a very self-aware movie.
Like, he doesn't
very different.
The same way. And also like the relationship. Yeah. He's not truly the villain of this story. He's like kind of a villain, but not really.
Yeah.
I liked that whole thing. The other thing I thought was two things. I think the worst part of this movie, but also one of the more interesting parts of this movie, is Jada Pinkett Smith returning as Niobe. The whole idea of a second human settlement outside of Zion because Zion was too stuck in the past because of Morpheus, I don't love. But I like the idea that the humans are able to move on and start to build a life and like actually
and they work with the
innovate.
robots. I like
They
that.
work with the robot. I think that is an interesting way to like handle it. And I mean, we saw that in the trilogy of like you have programs that are kind of rejecting the Matrix themselves. And I think that's a very interesting way to kind of do that. And I think it's especially after 60 some years, like they said, like it would bound to happen. I just think that of all the characters to bring back, Niobe's like I just never liked her the first time, but then I also liked they brought back the Mayor of Engine, so like I can't be that guy to be like
That was funny.
the Mayor of Engine returning is so funny because he's just so French and like just so perfect, and you're like, what is this guy doing here again?
He's just like screaming obscenities during like the really like the battles. Like he's not even there to fight. Like
no, he's just like
there
pointing
to talk trash.
You ruined my French dinner restaurant.
I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
I like the scenes. I think also like for me, not to like hate on Mission Impossible earlier this year, but like where they showed a ton of like clips in the past of the movies.
This does the same thing, yeah.
I think they do the same thing, but I think for me it works here. Because it's like a variant.
They worked the same and they both didn't work all that much. But I get it, like when they did the whole like Mr. Anderson and it cuts back and forth. Like
yeah, like I thought that was funny. I mean not funny, but just like
it works.
It works for me.
Yeah.
And I think also there's like the little nostalgia. They're just like, hey, come and get the nostalgia. And like there's the entire scene where they come in, they're in that theater and they're basically like replaying the Matrix on the screen.
Yeah, and like this version of Morpheus literally does like the old stuff to like make him feel better and make it easier for him to understand, which is like what they're telling the audience too. Of like, we're gonna do the same thing again, just so you get what's going on.
Yeah, and this is what I did want to say. The scene where Morpheus comes and asks Neo to escape the Matrix, and right after that. I think this is right after, but like right after it's like it just shows like chunks of his life and he's like going to work, coming home, drinking coffee, sitting in the bathtub with a rubber ducky on his head.
Yeah, Chuck would like that part of the movie for sure. It's very Office Space.
But it's like just like
dude,
and
we have quoted Office Space in Denver probably 4 times in the past week and a half.
Just watch that little chunk of the Matrix where he's like, really, you want to stay in this? And it's like, yeah, I think so. And it's just him going to work out, going home, doing it all over again. Just depressed. It's so funny. Oh man, but I
like that though. I think it's like showing him that like he didn't choose to escape the Matrix, and I like the treadmill kind of like resembling that he's just gonna get back in the same spot and do the same thing and not change. I like that.
I'm with you. I think that the best part of this movie though is similar to Matrix 3 is kind of that finale aspect of like when it's Trinity and Neo doing their thing, like it works so well. And I think that this too is finally the first time obviously like Trinity gets Neo powers and like it works. I like it. I liked the ending. I liked that we're going to rewrite the world as our own with talking to the analyst. I just feel like this was a pretty solid way to redo the Matrix again.
Yeah, I think for me, I like that they changed a lot too. That the fact that Neo and Trinity don't look the way they think they look. Like how their projections are different.
Yes.
And I like how they kind of add a little bit of mystery in the first 30 minutes where they kind of show some reflections on glass or in mirrors that they may look different, but you're still kind of like, what's going on here? I really like the scene where Trinity's talking to Neo and she's like, I played your game and I went to my husband and I said like, that looks like me. And he just like laughed at her. And she almost felt like this sense of like discomfort where like when she was talking to Neo, it just feels so comfortable again.
It's that
the entire that coffee scene. I mean, holy cow! Like they sit her down and they're talking, and then the dad comes in. And he's like, "Oh my gosh, let's just call her Sarah. Sarah broke her arm. Oh my gosh, And then she's like, "Oh my gosh, I have to go," and he's like, "Yeah, that's okay." And then she just like walks off. But there's like a quote in here that I do want to like. I think there's a lot of like good like almost like romance quotes that are like perfectly just dropped into these scenes. Like she has there's a part of me that feels like I've been waiting my whole life for you, and that part is like, what the hell took you so long? And then there's the whole part where like I think I'd play the game, but for part of it like felt like memories.
I like that.
And I like that. Like there's just, I mean, that's not like the direct quote, but I think there's just some really good just conversation and good writing that takes place towards the back end of this movie, just to like so easily like bring you back in to like their whole love story and why it works so well.
Yeah. I think that the smart thing this movie did, and maybe there's apparently going to be Matrix 5 or 5 coming. I think what could be really interesting in the Matrix 5, and I'm shocked this didn't tie into it at all, is I feel like cell phones have to become the next thing in the Matrix, right? Like like this obviously takes place in modern times as in 2021, but like no one uses a cell phone in the same way like we do. It'd be very interesting as if in Matrix 5, like each person is their own the one in the Matrix. Like that's kind of the next evolution of the Matrix is like in your in your phone and your thing is like you're the one in yours. Like everyone is special, so no one else wants to leave. I think that'd be an interesting way to kind of tackle the Matrix next. And I feel like that's kind of the next thing the machines would do is like be like, all right, if everyone is special, they do the whole syndrome thing. If everyone's special, no one is. I think
if everyone is super,
yeah, no one is.
And
I think that'd be
everyone's super.
That'd be. I think that's kind of the next thing. But
I would like that. I think there's ways they can spin this. Again, I don't think there's a bad Matrix movie. I think these are all good movies.
I think they're all good.
What the question of how many of these will I rewatch?
I don't think I'll see any of these again for another decade, to be honest. I think I got a decade before I have to go back to them.
Yeah, but I think The Matrix, probably revisit it within the next year, probably.
Oh, really? I don't think I'll be that soon, but it's very, very good.
Really?
It's very, very, very good.
It just depends. Like I just feel like it.
Charles, will you ever watch these again?
Yeah, definitely.
I think when you do watch it, you should do 2 and 3.
Really?
Like you have to at least once because they're basically the opposite of Lord of the Rings at the exact same time. Like it's such an interesting 1-2 happening simultaneously. Like they are kind of almost a companion piece on like if you go too far, what happens versus if you not play it safe, but like play that 4-quadrant movie. It's very interesting. It's a very interesting like comparison.
I'm all over the place right now, but I'm thinking of the Agent Smith fight in the second movie.
It's a good fight. It's an okay fight.
Crazy CGI.
There is some PS2 CGI that really takes me out of it.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that I forgot to bring that up earlier.
It looks like I'm playing Crash Bandicoot.
And it's crazy because the first movie looks so good. And then in the second one, they just like, it's like the Adam Driver, like, The Last Jedi meme, like more, like they're just like, let's just pour.
More.
Yeah.
More.
They're just like pouring so much into the scene that they're like, yeah, but we're going to make it with like CGI, but it's going to be so awesome that no one's going to even think that this is CGI. And it's just, everyone's like, man, this is like, I feel like I'm playing on my DS here.
Yeah.
And I think the lighting in the third one makes it infinitely better.
It looks so good.
And obviously it's a lot more practical than the second one, where the second one's just basically like entirely computer generated.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm glad we kind of hit these because I remember watching the first one. I was like, man, that was like so good. But I looked at the rest of them and like kind of the online discourse was don't watch the sequels just because they aren't
great.
good.
Like if these were made today, they would arguably be some of the best looking blockbusters we've had in years. And like that's just what they were doing in 2003 and like 1999. Like, I mean that the final fight in specifically the warehouse scene where like they're basically all fully in shadow and there's lightning going on in the background is some of the most beautiful action fights I've seen. And like we were so spoiled, and we just never took advantage of it, which we should have. And like even Resurrections, I think looks incredible.
Yeah.
And, like, I just wish that more stuff looked as good as these movies do.
The human bombs where they like drop out. From the
that was sweet. That was
completely forgot that.
Yeah, those were cool. They were like
those were like insane.
Torpedoes.
So Charlie, in the fourth one, where like they have the crazy action sequence, they're all running around, and we could break down the action sequences in these movies. Like, I feel like forever. Yeah. I mean, there's just the highway scene's great, and the fact that even in the new one, I can talk about just some of the awesome like the blocking, like almost like the force field of it all. But in the new one, they're like running throughout the city, and was it Neil Patrick Harris basically like I'm trying to think of the terminology. He like kind of hacks into the people, and they like run out of their buildings and just like dive onto the street to like almost like tackle them
right now.
And it's just like they just like and they just like almost like
it's pretty sweet.
It's so cool, but it's like so freaky because like you see the view of like this one dude laying in bed, and he like gets up, and his wife's like, "What the heck?" And then he just goes straight out the window.
Honey, where are you going? He does the torpedo,
like fully torpedoes into the ground.
Yeah.
And it's so
that has that, but Cars do that. It's one of the Fast and Furiouses, but like it was like that with people. But yeah,
I'm trying to think what's next. Like what movies are we gonna look at? Like I feel like we're really taking down some of these trilogies.
I think we have to for Charles' sake. We got to do Ghibli. I think we got to.
I've been asking for a year.
All right. Hang on. Let's. Okay, that was The Matrix. We really liked it. Not a bad one in the bunch. Very fun episode overall. Let's look ahead. All right, next week. Next week we got Honey Don't. I think I'm very excited for it.
Chris Evans masterclass incoming.
Margaret Qualley. I'm telling you, she's next up. Then the week after, we have Caught Stealing in the Roses.
The week after,
what away. September 5th. What's coming out September 5th? September movie releases. All right, here we go. Coming out September 5th is, for some reason, this is Lilo and Stitch. Highest to Lowest, Hamilton threesome. Okay, so that'll be we'll do stuff that week. September 12th, The Long Walk, which I think we would like to review. It's been like everywhere. September
Short Walk.
September, where am I at? September 19th is Him, which we're definitely going to review that.
You hearing what I'm hearing, Jack?
Wait, was that you or is that Hunter?
It's a bell, some kind.
Dude, that was like some weapon stuff right there.
And then Friday, September 26th is One Battle After Another, which we're going to talk about. All right, now we're into October. October.
I feel like The Long Walk, I know it might be like a lot to kind of squeeze that in there, but I feel like The Long Walk is kind of like
it's kind of like a one.
No, I'm not saying but I feel like maybe that's something where we could review for like 15 minutes.
Yeah, we could just say like, hey, we liked it.
I don't.
September 12th.
I'm not saying that, like obviously,
September
but it's 12th
like makes sense for Ghibli.
I would totally be on it.
All right,
I think we got to give everyone some time.
Let's pick ours now. Let's pick three. Let's pick three right now.
I see it.
So we're all on the same page. So the people are on the same page. We're on the same page. Let's do Princess Mononoke. I'm writing this down. I'm writing it down so we're living in it. Princess Mononoke.
Like we can't watch the recording after.
No, we can't. Princess Mononoke. Let's skip Totoro. Everyone does Totoro.
Should we do Spirited Away, even though that is like the
Kiki's Delivery Service?
Don't think that's what Jack said, but we can do that.
I was naming another one. I'll do Spirited Away. Also, Princess Mononoke, Spirited Away. Okay, and then for the third one, do we want to do
We can do Kiki's. Sure.
Kiki's? Okay.
All right. I mean, and then he just had last year, or not last year, or was it last year that came out
The
with
Boy and the Heron. I think it was
The
2020.
Boy and the Heron?
Yeah.
Okay, 2024 then. Yeah, last year.
This guy.
Sick.
All right, now we're in. So that's September 12th. Can't get out of it now.
I
Good.
think
Expect a fun new background for that episode.
I think in the future, I mean, obviously we got Ghibli down now, but Harrison Ford, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
A little indie.
Blade Runner.
Oh, just a Harrison
Okay.
Ford in general.
Okay.
I like
We
this
could do
idea.
Harrison. I was like open to just like Indiana Jones.
We can do
Obviously,
Indiana
like,
Jones.
We can do the first three. We don't have to do the last two.
Let's worry about Ghibli, and then we can.
Yeah, you
talk-
know, we
Sorry.
should skip Ghibli. Let's just move on from that.
I'm
Harrison
getting
Ford,
excited.
baby.
I'm getting excited here because I think it's a lot of fun revisiting the.
I'd like
the
to do the
classics.
Before trilogy at one point also.
Yes, I've
I'd
been
like
wanting
to
to
do
do
that.
that
I
forever.
think Charles would be very into those.
I've never seen those. So
Neither have
would-
I. Neither have I.
I've heard so much good stuff about them.
Yeah, we should
That's
do a
crazy.
Harrison Ford episode, but only his bad movies. We'll do the Call of the Wild,
Ender's Game.
Expendables
Aliens versus
3.
Cowboys.
Ender's
Yeah.
Game.
Whoa. Cowboys versus Aliens is sick. K-19, The Widowmaker. Yeah, we'll just pick his bad movies and just be like, you know what? I don't know if this guy's got the sauce.
Man, this
The
guy
fact
sucks.
oh man, dude, what? Okay, can I give you real fast Harrison Ford's his run from 1980 to 1985, real fast.
Yeah, man.
Empire Strikes Back, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Blade Runner, Return of the Jedi, and Temple of Doom. Every single year those happened, and then in '85 he did Witness, which is quite good.
And in '79, he was in
That's it?
Apocalypse Now.
In '79 he was in Apocalypse Now, so if you count that, it's Apocalypse Now. Then it goes to the ones I just listed. So Empire, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Blade Runner, Return of the Jedi, Temple of Doom, Witness.
Don't forget his legendary appearance in Anchorman 2.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's the one we'll review too. But yeah, I like the Harrison Ford idea. I'd like to do a couple of people like that and just revisit some old people like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the Matrix special edition episode, longer than usual. We kept the streak though of Charles only seeing partial of the movies that we're talking about. But next week he will be seeing Honey Don't. He will not see it. He's definitely going to see it. Oh, I'm really worried he's not going to see it. He's looking around like, I don't think I'm going to see this thing.
Don't honeydew.
Honeydew. Oh, honeydew is always yummy. All right. Till next week where we're talking Honey Don't. Appreciate and hey, escape the Matrix. Take the red pill or the blue pill. I think the red pill. No, I think I take the blue pill. I'll be honest. I take the blue pill.
I would take the blue pill.
I think the blue pill. If I was cool like Neo and they were like, oh, we think you're the one, I would probably take the red pill, but then I'd be disappointed it probably wasn't me.
Knowing everything I know now, I'm taking the blue pill.
I'd go up to Mr. Agent Smith and be like, they're right over there. Stop them. Give me my big old steak that I've been asking for.
If being the one consists of having a multitude of DVDs and a DVD player, that's one of us.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I'd be like I'd be the mayor of Engine, but instead of a weird French bar, I'd own like a movie theater that just only plays like older cinema. And I would just be like, you guys don't understand the power of cinema. And then instead of dreadlocked people, it'd be like just two ushers. That'd be my guys who run around. All right, that's it. We're getting weird now. Till next week, everybody. Escape the Matrix. Peace.